Welcome back, everybody. Here we go again. We're putting out these awesome tutorials for you guys every few days. I'm hoping that we can eventually get you to a full year and Don't Starve Together very, very soon. If you're following around right now, you know that we just got to almost the end of springtime. Things are getting pretty spicy as we get ourselves ready for summer. If you don't know me, my name is All Fun and Games. I do lots of streaming on Twitch TV. I stream twice a day, every single day. I play lots of Don't Starve Together. I play plenty of other games as well too. So if you'd like to follow along, you can join the Discord. You can follow me on Twitch, or you can of course just follow along on YouTube. I upload all of my videos from Twitch TV here, including other guides as well too. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video if you've enjoyed it, and if you found that it's helped you out at all, please comment below. If you have any questions, so I've been getting a lot of people that have actually messaged me on Discord asking me specific questions. If you have any questions, feel free to just put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them there. It's always nice to see the comment section nice and filled. So if you enjoyed it, if you watched it, just comment anything. Doesn't matter if it's the letter T or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just comment down below, because I love seeing and being able to react to all the comments down below. So let's get in here as we get started on our day 54. We're already past day 50. Things are getting crazy. Okay, so last we left off, we were getting to the point where things are starting to get a little bit warm outside as we get ready for summertime, which, as you know, is my least favorite season. Wintertime, if you thought winter was hard, summertime is going to be even more tough. So we have to be prepared, we have to be ready, and we have to make sure that whatever we do, we're not getting too warm. So there's a few things to kind of get ready for summer, which we've already done. And as we kind of connect into the server, I can show you real quick exactly what we were doing before, and to kind of refresh everyone's memory. But first things that we were just getting started, and there we are. We're inside the world. We're just going to wait for our little friends to connect. Before we logged off last time, we ran around and we were killing the moose goose, so we could show you guys how to do that. But let's go back to our base, though. Let's get back home. Let's get all the way over there. Get our put our walking cane in our hand as we run back. Let's go through our wormhole. Nice little shortcut here. Whew. And as we get back, we're gonna kind of go over the checklist as we prepare ourselves for summer. So of course I use a mod that shows us when, spring and all that stuff's about to happen. So if you don't have that, you can follow along with the mods that I use. It's also listed on the tutorial tips on YouTube, where I kind of discuss all the different mods I use. It's also on the very first episode of my guide as well too. So that's how I'm able to see how much time is left. Before we go any further, let's drop off our frog legs, which are now overflowing our fridge. Wow, we have lots and lots of stuff. A bunch of things are actually starting to go bad as well too. So hopefully we managed to fix that up a little bit. But as of right now, let's go ahead and fill our bellies up with these butterflies. Instead of making butter muffins, I'm just going to eat the butterflies as is. Let's drop off some stuff at home so we don't have to keep our inventory nice and filled up. Let's drop off our junky little log suits, and once again, try to put your armor and anything that has to do with battling things and fighting stuff kind of together, so then that way it's easier to find and easier to locate. Okay, so our checklist for summertime. So if you guys are following along to this point, you've kind of copied everything that we've done. You know, we have both of our endothermic fire pits, which are going to keep us nice and cooled for for summertime. We have one there. We have one near the hound's traps. And as we go on further on, we will make sure that, we continue to kind of check off all the other lists. So we have those two. We have our two flingomatics, and we even have an extra flingomatic pre-built as well too. Now, the reason why I always have an extra flingomatic and extra things already pre-built is because you never know when you're going to need them. So a lot of the times people always wander around. All of a sudden it gets nighttime and they're like, uh-oh, I forgot I don't have any grass. If you pre-build something and pre-craft something, you can immediately have that ready to go. Now, keep in mind, you can't pre-craft like an item like a torch. That'll obviously take up an inventory space, but you can pre-craft like buildings and structures, and that's always a good way of getting that going. So we're going to continue doing that. So we have our science machine pre-crafted. We have our flingomatic pre-crafted, but I'm going to actually pre-craft another thing as we get ready for showing you how to kind of get past summertime and or kind of live through summer a little bit easier. Oh, it looks like we actually used all of our gears. Okay, well, that's not a problem. Not a huge problem in itself. But if we do manage to get one more gear, that'll help us out. Let's go ahead and repair our umbrella. If you guys are using it, make sure that you just keep the sewing kit nice on you in case you want to repair some stuff. And let's get some more resources. So as we continue on, we're going to do two things in the morning. We're going to get going over to the Oasis. Now, how do you tell where the Oasis is? Well, the Oasis looks exactly like the desert, the D-Fly area where we've showcased before where to get cactus from and whatnot. But it's right next to it. And you can notice that it is because it has a little biome in it that has a little pond looking thing on the map. So that's exactly how you know where your Oasis is. Generally speaking, the Oasis and the desert are not really touching that often, but in this case, you know, we got a little unlucky and they're kind of joined together, which is okay. So as we pick up all of our twigs and pick up all of our grass, we're going to start to wonder, like, what are we going to get ready to go into the Oasis for? There's a few reasons. So during summertime, a few things happen. One, obviously everything gets very, very toasty very quickly. So we need to make sure that we have our Fling-O-Matic ready. We need to make sure that we have everything in order to keep us nice and cool. But number two, we need to make sure that we decide on what to do about an upcoming boss. So just like in springtime, we have our boss like the Moose Goose. The difference is the Moose Goose doesn't actually attack you directly. It basically just wanders around, and if you come across it, then it'll attack you. But just like in winter time, when the Deerclops showed up at our base, there's another thing to worry about in summertime, and that's called the antlion. Now, the antlion I can't show you right now because we have to wait until summer hits and until certain things happen. But the antlion will destroy your base from afar. So even though the antlion is in the Oasis during summer, what it will end up happening is the antlion will basically wait a few days until the antlion's angry enough and a few days have passed in summer, and the antlion will strike. And when the antlion strikes from afar, it basically collapses and creates craters underneath structures within your base. Your character will say things like, oh no, like, do I feel a rumble, or things like that. And 2 minutes later, you're going to notice that there's going to be craters and little structures being damaged within your base. So there's a few options we have. One, we could go and live inside the caves, which would still cause a different effect to happen. Living in the caves will stop the effect from the summer heat. It'll also promote us to, make a new base and kind of get new resources underground, which is an option. In our base, we wouldn't have to worry about it catching in flames. Another option is living in the Oasis temporarily while we get ready. In the Oasis, we have to do something in order to fight the antlion. And there's two options. So altogether, there's three options. One, we live in the caves. We then fish for something that we're going to need. And what are we going to need? I'm going to tell you in a second. And let's go over to the Oasis right now so I can kind of go through that. So even though it's the last day of spring, I'm actually, you know what, let's do something real quick. Let's grab these berries while I finish talking and explaining a few things. Okay, so once again, during summertime, you can go right into the caves. I would not suggest waiting till the last second to go into the caves. I would, do it like the day before, get yourself a little base ready, then kind of go down in the caves. I'm going to show you all three ways of what I'm going to recommend. The second option is going and living in the Oasis, living over here until summer begins, and then start to plan out your attack against the antlion. Once you kill the antlion, you're ready to go for the entire summer. You don't have to worry about the antlion returning summertime until the next season when summertime hits. Then, of course, you're going to have to worry about it then. So the way that I'm going to show you first is I'm going to get a little base ready to go in the Oasis. Then I'm also going to get a base ready to go in the caves. So we have kind of both to choose from. Then I'm going to show you how to kill the antlion. And then once we kill the antlion, I'm going to show you two ways of killing the antlion. So a lot of actual information coming your way right now. So it might be a little bit hard to kind of follow along at this point, but do your best. And like I said, if worst case scenario, you can't, it doesn't work out for you where you were not able to do it like we did, you can also fall back to the second or third option of what I give you, because I'm gonna make it as easy as I can for you. So once again, we have two friends here with us, which brings a total of 3 players in the game. So as we prepare for the antlion, a few things I kind of want to mention. So if you remember when we were fighting the Deerclops, I showed you an attack pattern on how to resist getting hit by the Deerclops, and even if you did, you could easily kill the Deerclops with more than one person because the Deerclops doesn't have too much HP, so as long as you're prepared, you can easily kill it. So the antlion is kind of in the similar situation as that. The antlion also has the ability to take a few hits and then die, but it also retaliates a lot stronger, in my opinion, than the Deerclops does, because you're going to see why very shortly. So it's a lot of information to kind of take in, but like I said, we're going to prepare as best as we can. We're going to gather all of our resources. We're going to get a lot of defenses. But there's a few things that we're going to start gathering. We're going to gather a lot more logs. We're going to gather a lot more armor. We're going to try to get as many pierogies ready to go, which we already have our 27 pierogies. That should hopefully last us to the beginning. Let's go like this. I'm actually going to eat this, even though it's going to hurt my sanity a lot, just because it doesn't really bother me about my sanity this minute. And let's go over and take a little peek. Let's bring some meatballs with us. Okay, so as we go over to the Oasis, I want to bring and drop off a few things there, and we're gonna kind of go over what needs to be done once we get to the Oasis. So it doesn't look like there's any wormholes there. There are wormholes close by, but they don't seem to actually be like anywhere near us. Like we had the one that was in our base that actually led us kind of somewhat close to the Pig King, but it looks like our wormhole selection is not that good. So if you have better wormholes than I do, feel free to, use your wormholes on the way there. Don't bother walking like I am. But so far, our sites are 1000% focused on summer activity and summer activity only. If you're playing Wilson like I am, you're going to want to make sure that as soon as day 1 of summertime hits, you're going to want to shave your beard. You could wait till day 2 or day 3, but honestly, like the faster you shave your beard, the better. So in all honesty, I would probably suggest doing it right away. If you have the resources on you, you don't have to run all the way back home. In order to do that, you can literally just make yourself a razor, because we've already pre-crafted the razor before, so you can actually shave on the go. I'm actually going to do that because as soon as I get to the Oasis, I'm going to start making a tiny little base there, and I'm going to kind of get things situated so that way we can kind of show you the alternate way of living through the summer. Now, if you find that going through different biomes is a harsh thing in the summer, like I said, you could live in the caves, which a lot of people early on in their DST exploration decide to do. But I feel like if you're going to learn the way of Don't Starve Together and you want to learn the true way of survival, I really do think you should avoid jumping into the caves unless you absolutely have to, because the more that you use the caves as like a crutch in the game, you're going to eventually want to learn how to actually survive on the surface, which, to be honest with you, it makes me more, not like, it doesn't make me better, but it makes me more appreciate the game more instead of actually just going into the caves. Okay, so we get to the Oasis. We see a few things here. Obviously, we see our little straw roll, we see a grass suit, and we see a fishing rod. Why do we need a fishing rod? Well, as soon as summertime hits, in just a moment here, as soon as the morning hits, you're going to see a change happen in the Oasis. This little stump-looking thing is going to open up, and it's going to create a large pond here. And once we get that pond open up, we can begin to fish in it. And once we start fishing in there, we're going to get things like fish, we're going to get lots of trinkets, but more so we're going to get blueprints. And this is the only way to acquire a specific blueprint. So before we get too far ahead, I want to make a little base here. So let's put our flingomatic down here that I've already pre-crafted. Not necessarily that you need a flingomatic in the Oasis, so you don't have to copy this specifically, but because I don't want to risk my base burning up like prematurely or whatnot, I'm going to start getting myself a little base prepared. So we have our fire pit that's within the flingomatic range, which is okay. I'm going to hopefully get myself an endothermic fire pit down the road when I have more resources. But for now, I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to be traveling back home. Let's get ourselves a little science machine in case I need to pre-craft anything. And as time goes on, we're going to begin working on our little base here. So this is a temporary base. This is not going to be where we're going to be living in the future for a very long time or anything like that. But at least at the very least, we can get ourselves prepared to make little trips here and there. We want to make sure that we have resources in case we want to stay out here for like a little bit longer. Living within the Oasis early on in a beginner's days in DST, I probably would not recommend doing it. But in the future, the Oasis is a good spot to live because it blocks overheat, like not overheating. It blocks fire spread, and it becomes sometimes people's favorites within Don't Starve Together. So The only reason why I'm showing and making a little base right now is because I feel like some people always ask the question, well, I've been hearing living in the Oasis is a good option. Would you agree? You know, and it's completely up to the person specifically, but I think just making a temporary little base here is perfectly fine. You don't need to rely on this base 100%. So we have our Flingomatic, we have our science machine. Eventually I'd like to get a little fridge out here, potentially one crockpot or two, and just kind of get yourself like some small little base. I'm a little bit low on logs because we used it for all of our log suits, but as time goes on, I'm going to begin to start smashing up and chopping down all these trees so I can gather more resources. So just get yourself something basic. Like I said, if you have the gears for it, make yourself another fridge out here, put a little bit of food in there, because we're going to need that for when we decide to fight the antlion. And that's what this is all about, right? You don't necessarily want to live out here if you're struggling, because in the morning here we're going to see something change. Now, as the morning hits and as summer approaches, it's beginning to rain, as you can see. So let's get ready for summer. Look at that, day 1 of summer, everybody, and there's the change. But nothing's happening so far, and why is that? Because as the game is raining, as you can see right now, the Oasis cannot change yet. The Oasis needs to wait until the wetness dries up on the ground, and then the storm will come. So you managed to make it this far. You managed to have our base. We're now approaching summertime. Here it goes. This is where the fun begins. This is where the craziness starts. As we get into summertime, things are about to get a lot more spicy for us, and a lot of things are about to happen. So get ready for the next few episodes here, because it's going to be lots of information in a short amount of time. If you ever feel overwhelmed and you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask in the comments, or once again, find me on Twitch TV. I stream twice a day, all fun and games. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Let's get ready for summertime. And I will see you guys in the next episode as we approach for summertime and fighting the antlion.